Before the first raindrop falls, your nose already knows it's coming. How? Somehow, before you hear the rain, before you see the dark clouds overhead, before the first drop touches the ground, you can already smell it, that fresh, earthy scent that seems to appear out of nowhere. But here's the strange part. Most people think they're smelling the rain. They're not. In fact, rain itself barely smells like anything. So what are you actually smelling? How can your nose detect a storm that hasn't even arrived yet? And why are humans strangely good at noticing it? Because hidden inside that familiar smell is a story involving exploding raindrops, microscopic bacteria, lightning, and millions of years of evolution. This sounds wrong. If you've ever walked outside just before a storm, you've smelled it. Everyone has. So how can rain not have a smell? The answer is simple. Pure water is almost odorless. The rain isn't creating a smell. It's revealing smells that were already there. Imagine leaving a sponge full of perfume in a sealed box. The perfume isn't created when you open the box. It was there all along. The rain works the same way. It unlocks scents that have been waiting for weeks. But waiting where? Look at dry soil. It seems dead. Nothing appears to be happening. But underneath, the ground is surprisingly busy. Plants constantly release tiny oily compounds. These oils slowly coat rocks, dust, and soil particles. They build up day after day during dry weather, completely unnoticed. Nothing carries them into the air, so nobody smells them. Then the first raindrops arrive. Each drop strikes the ground at around 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. That tiny impact traps microscopic air bubbles beneath the surface. Those bubbles race upward. When they burst, they launch tiny droplets into the air like miniature fireworks. Inside those droplets are the oils that had been trapped on the ground. For the first time, they reach your nose. Scientists even gave this smell a name. Petrichor, a word created from Greek that roughly means the blood of stone. But here's what's fascinating. Petrichor isn't actually the smell people notice most. The strongest part comes from something far smaller. Hidden inside almost every handful of soil are billions of bacteria. One particular group produces a molecule called Geosmin. You don't need to remember the name. You've been smelling it your entire life. Geosmin is responsible for that rich, earthy smell that people often associate with rain. And here's the incredible part. Humans are unbelievably sensitive to it. Researchers have found we can detect geosmin at incredibly tiny concentrations. Only a few molecules drifting through the air can be enough for your brain to notice. That's why even a light drizzle can suddenly transform the smell of an entire landscape. Not because the rain is strong, because your nose is. But sometimes, storms smell different, sharper, cleaner, almost metallic. That's because something else is arriving before the rain. Imagine a thunderstorm several kilometers away. The lightning hasn't reached you. The rain hasn't reached you. Yet somehow, the air already smells different. Lightning carries enormous amounts of energy, enough to split oxygen molecules in the atmosphere. As those molecules recombine, some become ozone. Strong winds ahead of thunderstorms can push tiny amounts of ozone toward you. Long before the storm arrives, your nose picks it up as a clean, almost electric smell. So depending on the weather, your brain could be detecting plant oils, soil bacteria, or molecules created by lightning itself. All before you've seen a single raindrop. But this raises one last question. Why are humans so good at this? Long before weather forecasts, before satellites, before radar, our ancestors still needed to know when rain was coming. Rain meant drinking water, growing plants, animals gathering near rivers. Survival. Being able to detect subtle chemical changes in the air may have offered a small advantage. Generation after generation, those tiny advantages accumulate. Whether evolution specifically selected our remarkable sensitivity to geosmin is still being studied, and scientists continue to debate exactly why humans detect it so well. But one thing is certain. Your nose is capable of detecting astonishingly small amounts of it, and that's something most people never realize. The next time someone says, "It smells like rain," you'll know that's not quite true. You're smelling oils that plants quietly left behind. You're smelling bacteria that have lived beneath your feet all along. Sometimes you're smelling molecules created by lightning itself. Rain doesn't bring a smell with it. It simply unlocks a hidden world that was already there. And once you know that, you'll never experience the beginning of a storm the same way again.